On September 28th, Andrew Maneri offered a workshop called Local and Sustainable Agriculture. This workshop was offered as part of the Nonstop Liberal Arts Institute in Yellow Springs, Ohio. Andrew is teaching Nonstop students about the vegetables he grows on a small 3-acre plot in Yellow Springs as a CSA program. CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture. Community members buy subscriptions or shares in the farm, and in exchange they pick up a weekly harvest of vegetables all summer long. The number of CSAs in the United States was estimated at 50 in 1990 and has since grown to over 2,000. Andrew farms this land using the principles of permaculture. Permaculture farming seeks to mimic nature and to coexist with the local environment with as little impact as possible. Andrew says that one of his major influences is Masanobu Fukuoka, author of The One Straw Revolution. Fukuoka said that if modern agriculture continues to follow the path it's on now, it's finished. The food-growing situation may seem to be in good shape today, but that's just an illusion based on the current availability of petroleum fuels. All the wheat, corn, and other crops that are produced on big American farms may be alive and growing, but they're not products of real nature or real agriculture. They're manufactured rather than grown. The earth isn't producing those things, petroleum is. Andrew doesn't use synthetic fertilizers or machines. He relies on compost and mulch. Andrew makes the compost from food scraps he picks up with his bicycle from the Emporium in Sunrise Cafe in Yellow Springs. The mulch is made of dead plants from the farm. He adds compost and mulch to the surface of the soil, adding to it and enriching it, and never tilling it. Tilling, which means to dig up or agitate the ground, disturbs the intricate layers of soil and kills beneficial organisms. Andrew says, "What I'm trying to do is grow things without tilling the soil in a very wild sense. This means trusting natural processes to take care of things." The garden is not laid out in neat rows like many others. Instead, Andrew has created spirals, arcs, and rounded corners. A few trees are scattered here and there, and the plot slopes gracefully. Andrew has created planting beds that hug the land's natural contours. A tractor would have a hard time here. "I want to make it as inconvenient as possible for machines to come in here," he said. The farm's design makes it look more wild than cultivated. He said, "Sometimes my harvest day is like foraging in the wild." Andrew doesn't spend a lot of time weeding. He will only pull a weed if it's really interfering with the growth of a vegetable. He says, "I'm not out here battling nature. I want to be a participant in this landscape instead of trying to control it." Andrew's approach still gives him a large yield of vegetables each season without a lot of work. "I'm able to keep up with 3 acres of vegetables without having to do a lot of the things that farmers have to do by getting along with nature and letting go." Andrew puts students to work mulching planting beds for the winter. Sometimes some of Andrew's crops are destroyed by pests, weather, or other reasons. But because he plants a wide variety of things, there is always something to harvest. He says the key for him is learning to appreciate what we do have instead of thinking about what you expected, because you made those expectations in February before there was a bug in the sky. Andrew says that the program has been a success with community members. He started out by putting flyers up near the garden because we wanted people to walk here instead of using cars. Over time, news of the project spread by word of mouth. Andrew provided some helpful tips that can be used in home gardens. The edible flower nasturtium, as well as marigolds, deter pests when they're grown among other plants. Carrots and onions grown together will benefit each other, as each provides protection against the other's common pests. If you want to save seeds from the plants you grow, be sure to look for seeds that are open-pollinated. Seeds saved from hybrid plants are often sterile. Andrew says he doesn't have all the answers about what sustainable agriculture means, but he has learned to get along with weeds, leave the environment on his plot intact, and provide vegetables to 20 Yellow Springs families. "I'm still in a process of observation and probably will be for the rest of my life." The Nonstop Liberal Arts Institute is a liberal arts intervention with a strong connection to the values and ethics of permaculture. Nonstop also seeks to preserve diversity and improve the ecosystem around us. But for us, this stewardship takes place in the world of thought and ideas. We applaud and support the work of this small farm, and we thank Andrew for sharing his experiences with our students. To see what new growths are taking root in the field of education, visit the website below.